Previously on Lancer. Answering Dr. Russell's threat, the Lancers raced back to Balena, where several top Unio executives, Vera and Alice, were being held hostage. After a skirmish with Dr. Russell's Ronin mech, Fish and the others learned the truth. Dr. Russell was merely an artificial humanoid android piloted by his pet cat, Peaches, also known as Alpha 9000, Fish's predecessor. To get revenge on Fish and those that would pass her over for ultimate sentience, Alpha 9000 wages war on the Lancers to prove her superiority once and for all. Last we left off, Derrick had just seen above him in the skylight against the backdrop of the full moon, the silhouette, a figure that he thinks he might recognize. Could it be? The shadow becomes larger and larger, and it flies in, and all of you turn and recognize the ladylike mech that is descending into the tram station.
Yes.
On overall comms, Prince Derrick, it's Princess Lila. I and the rest of the Agate warriors have come to your aid. The scientists told us what was happening here back on your home kingdom of Balena. The warriors are out amongst the city, taking down all the rest of the mechanical enforcers. But I'm here to help you particularly, Prince Derrick, from one royal to another. And the witch is going to go ahead and also join your team. She will land right next to Derrick and holds out her wand. As one royal to another, I couldn't leave you in your moment of plight.
Lila, I appreciate this so much. If you are ever in need, I will repay this tenfold.
There is nothing to repay, Prince Derrick. Not if you and I mean, never mind. We can talk of that later.
I love this.
Derrick, it's your turn.
Excellent.
What's really good about this is in the background of this whole scene, you do hear like as like literally the two of us are like cat wrestling right now. I am a cat grappling a cat, and we are making those noises.
And I would also like to point out that Decency, you're like right next to this happening. Like you're just right there.
Can I hear this over comms? Because
yes,
so,
you can hear
You can hear it in the room. We're just yelling.
Yeah. I think Derrick goes from like hard eyes emoji to bolstering his resolve. His heart is on fire, and he like turns to face his enemy. And he pulls out his hand cannon as he marches forward 6 spaces.
Okay.
And since I didn't fire any weapons last round, I auto-loaded, but since I loaded, my Roland chamber goes off. So
ooh.
I get to, on my first attack, if I hit, I get to add an additional 1d6 explosive damage, and they'll have to make a hull save to not be knocked prone. So I'm going to fire at this mine person. Yeah. Okay. My mine person. And since this is my first ranged attack on my turn, I get to use opening argument, which gives me 1 accuracy automatically with my hand cannon. Does a 15 hit?
It does. A 15 does hit.
Excellent. This is going to be a barrage. I'm just going to go buck wild on this. So that'll do 4 regular damage and 2 explosive damage.
Ooh, my goodness. Okay, so he has 2 armor. So that is... Does explosive damage ignore armor?
I don't think explosive ignores armor.
Great. Then, the cedar, lands all of these blows, and you could tell, like, bits of its legs are starting to come off. Its neck is kind of clicking around. It has definitely seen better days.
Excellent. My gunslinger die goes from 5 down to 4. If I get that down to 1, I get to do something cool. I don't know if I'll have that opportunity. And then... with the rest of my barrage, I'm going to fire my other hand cannon at it. Oh, also, sorry. With my Roland chamber, can it make a hull check for me or be knocked prone?
Yeah, you bet. Oh, it got a nat 20.
Okay.
That will save it. Look, yeah. He's boss tier. Sure, he's add-on boss tier, but he's boss tier.
He's boss tier. Ooh, I think my next attack misses with a 2.
That is so close. You tried so hard and you got so far, but I have bad news because in the end it didn't even matter.
Yeah. And then I want to also on that mount is my Nexus. So I'm gonna fire that. It's a smart weapon. So it will go after E-Defense.
Oh, okay.
18 against E-Defense.
That does hit.
Awesome. And it's a 1d3 damage, but he has 2 armor, so this might not do anything. Nope. Got a 1.
Oh, Derrick. Could you describe how Derrick's E attacks are not good?
Yeah. So I think the first firing the first hand cannon with the roll-in chamber maybe has this like cool smoke effect. And he's like, I've definitely knocked him down, and doesn't wait for like the smoke to clear to confirm this. And then like aims down with his hand cannon, fires, misses, and then like does the barrage of his smart missiles, also misses. And then the smoke clears and he's like, wait, why is he still up?
From the back, you can hear Princess Lila going, "Good job, Prince Derrick. You're lulling him into a false sense of security using your weakest weapons and worst techniques."
And with that, I want to overcharge. So I'll take 1 heat.
Okay, 1 heat.
And then I will, as a quick action, fire my Mjolnir. Which is that like chest cannon I've been charging up this whole time.
Oh!
So we'll see if I hope I don't miss. So it has 4 rounds in it. And if I fire 4 or more rounds at once, it gains armor piercing. And on a hit, my target becomes shredded until the end of their next turn. So like,
I'm sorry, but with 4 times 4, there might not be time for
that's
it to
okay.
be shredded.
That's okay. That's what Derrick would love. God damn it, too. That's so sad. So I think the chest panel opens. This large cannon emerges from it. And it spins.
Finish him off.
Fires. And just like absolutely whiffs it. Maybe he turns a little as he like hears Lila say this to him to encourage him, and just like whiffs it by 3 degrees.
I would actually like to canonically say that the blast goes into this tram here.
Love that.
And just like it just kind of awkwardly tilts over, like crash.
Oh no. Derrick, ashamed. So the cannon then like goes back in, and just awkwardly, quietly, we hear this metal enclosure like close on his chest again.
Lila goes invisible.
And that'll be my turn.
Okay, now if I'm correct, Derrick is the last pilot on our pilot rounds. Now we're to enemies. So, first, this Cedar, while he may be messed up, he is still temporarily mighty. He is going to go ahead and move backwards, and he is going to start with laying mines again. Any free space within range 3. So I actually think I'm gonna move him here. Any free space within range 3, 1, 2. He is gonna draw. I'm going to draw me yet another mine. Oh,
he wants to put it so I can shoot it there next time? He's going to put it at the
He's putting it where he thinks Derrick might shoot. It's actually perhaps a bit of a middle finger. Maybe, Derrick, you could even see, what if it's like spindly spider legs kind of turns around and sort of does this? And you're like, is that the middle finger? I'm not sure, but it feels like it. And then he spins around, and he's going to go ahead and use once again his grav grenade launcher, and he is going to target dear old Derrick. Going to go ahead and do a roll for that. Oh, and he's got a 6 attack bonus, so that's a 22.
I'm sure that hits. Yeah, my evasion's 13.
Okay, so that's going to be 4 kinetic damage. And it's going to be knockback 1, so you're going to be knocked back 1 space.
Okay.
But you're not prone, it's just knockback.
I would like to return fire.
Hell yeah.
If a character hits me with a ranged attack, I may immediately attack them with a single Ox ranged weapon if they're within range. So I'm going to fire those Nexus missiles.
Hell yeah.
11.
That
E
hits.
defense. Yeah.
E defense? That does not hit. E defense.
Damn it.
My bad.
Nope, that's okay. That's me.
Alrighties. The Sentinel over here is once again going to keep up its bodyguard protocol and is in Overwatch mode still with bodyguard over here on Alpha 9000. It is going to go ahead and use Eye of Midnight as a quick action, which means it can Overwatch once a turn instead of once per round. So that means every single time Alpha 9000 is attacked, it gets an attack on the attacker. And it's going to go ahead and use its combat shotgun for its next attack. And I think it's going to go ahead and start by moving back, and it's going to target Vera right here.
No.
We're going to go. We're going to go ahead and see what he gets. Oh, okay. Wait, what is his bonus on that? He gets a 10. All right. He just hits Vera. So that the shotgun is just going to hit her standard assault over here, and it is going to be for... Ooh, rough stuff. That looks like 10 kinetic damage. So it jumps back and hits Vera full on with its main shotgun, and she is takes it right in the shoulder unit. It just sort of knocks her shoulder askew with her gun on it. She's still standing. She's still good, but she took a full hit there right to the front. Hatuey, you're of course right here watching her. Maybe she was always a frontline kind of gal. Were you always in the back?
Yep, yeah, he was always the range guy watching from the back. But I think he's a little concerned. It's been a while, right?
Yeah.
He says, "Rita, are you okay?"
Of course I'm okay. And she shoots like her gun, like just sort of like she's warming up. She shoots it all into the wall up and down, and a bit of it crumbles out. Just making sure it wasn't jammed.
That's my girl.
Alrighties, that is going to be the end of the Sentinel's turn, and we are going to Alpha 9000, currently still grappling with one of its retractable samurai swords against 18,000's claws. Alpha 9000 is going to go ahead. We're grappled, right?
We are grappled, yes.
Hell yeah. This weapon size attacks every hostile character. Yeah, you know what? Alpha 9000 looks you right in your eyes, Fish, and says, you didn't come alone, and for that you will pay! And then out of the back of its head, it's like the white kind of hair, sort of similar to actually what you used to have 18,000 on your back, splits, and a Ravager turret comes out of its head. And the Ravager turret simultaneously attacks every hostile character within line of sight and range. And I believe that within line of sight is going to be 18,000, although I don't think it can attack you because it's a ranged and we're grappling, right?
I believe so, yes.
So it's just going to be Vera and Hatuey. I think, yeah, it's a 10. Oh, yes, go ahead.
It will take difficulty for being engaged while trying to shoot at people who are far.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Todd.
Oh,
it's the only thing I can do.
Because this weapon has +1 accuracy, that means that it's just going to get rid of the accuracy. But don't worry, Todd did still save you bacon. Thank you very much, Todd. Alrighty, so we get a +3 attack bonus to this. Ooh, okay, it's a 14. That's going to hit Vera. Is it going to hit you, Hatuey?
It will.
Oh, okay. That is going to be 8 kinetic damage as the turret cannons go off and pepper both you and Vera. Ooh, with 8, Vera is down to her first structure. Oh wait, she has an armor. Never mind. She has 2 left. She's good. But you can see that her mech is taking quite a punishing blow right here. And Hatuey, you're also going to take 8.
Yes.
Okay, and that is going to be no wait. Alpha 9000 has one more thing to do. So Alpha 9000, while engaged, is now going to use her carbon fiber sword again to try and attack Fisher. Now, because of this engaged, she doesn't get a difficulty because she's attacking the person she's engaged with, right?
I believe that's correct.
Okay.
Well, sorry, she's engaged, but she's also grappled.
Right.
So with grapple, sorry, let me read this. Both characters become engaged. Neither character can boost or take reactions for the duration of the grapple. The smaller character becomes immobilized, but moves when the larger party moves, mirroring their movement. We're the same size. If both parties are the same size, either can make contested hull checks at the start of their turn. The winner counts as larger until the contest is repeated.
Oh, wait, then we should have done that. I'll do that right now, actually.
We can do that, yeah.
We're just doing, do we both do hull checks and whoever gets the higher score is bigger?
D20 plus hull, right? Yeah.
Let's do it.
Great. That's that's a 4 plus 2, 6.
I got a 15, so woo!
Ow.
So 18,000 is going to go ahead and, Alpha 9000 is actually going to go ahead, and now that I know I can do this, thank you so much, is going to go ahead and grapple 18,000 all the way up against this toppled tram over here.
Great.
Sort of pushing back in their battle of swords and claws until 18,000 is going to be pinned right here against this tram where the Sentinel and Vera are on top of here. And then she's going to go ahead and use her carbon fiber sword. And she gets +1 accuracy. Oh, okay. So she only got a 14. 18,000. Does she beat a 14, or are you at 14 for your evade?
Sorry, that is against me. I am a 14. Yes.
And if it's at, then you win the combat, right?
I don't remember.
I think if it's at, you hit.
Oh, okay, great. If it's at, then she's going to go ahead, and you're going to take the slash is going to go right into 18,000. It's getting into the neck part of the mech as you're pushed against this tram. You're going to take 6 kinetic damage.
Fortunately, I do not take another structure damage quite yet. I like to think that some of the sword goes through the cockpit. In a scary way.
Okay, and that is going to be the end of Alpha 9000's turn. Now, because Vera has a special, she has the special veteran status, she actually goes first before any other character. So Vera is going to start, and she's going to go ahead and start. First, she's going to activate Hunker Down. She gets that once per round, and she will gain resistance to all damage from attacks, which is great. We're going to go ahead and add that. Hell yeah. And then she's going to go ahead and now I do think that's just her. I think Hunker Down is not even a quick action. I think that's a free action she gets. She gets to do Hunker Down. And then she's going to go ahead and whip out her heavy assault rifle, as she's been wont to do, which is a reliable weapon. The gun that she was actually peppering into the sidewall there, she turns on the Sentinel right here, and she's going to go ahead and try to pepper that in there. She gets a +2 bonus. Oh snap! But it is reliable, so it will hit. But she only got an 8. Let's see, what's the Sentinel's evade? No, it's too high. It is going to hit though because she's tier 2. It's going to hit for 3 damage. Not what she was hoping for, but there we go. Still a peppering blow. And but she's not done, because she gets one more action. She's going to go ahead and move and use one of her favorite little tools, the combat knife. She's just going to whip it out from the side, a giant hunting knife. And she's just going to go ahead and try to stab this Sentinel right here and grapple with it, because she's not afraid of no ghost. Oh, darn it. Oh my god, she's not rolling great. Oh no, maybe she's rattled. I mean, she did get her arm ripped off. She only got a 6, so that is going to miss. And they're gonna be grappled right now, so I'm gonna have to do some hull checks for them later. Oh snap, Hatuey, you're watching her kind of flounder over here.
Try not to be too cheesy. Yeah, just shake it off. You got it.
Oh, my ship. All right, we're back to the pilot's turns, and we're going to start with 18,000.
Yeah, great. So I became impaired. The last time I became impaired for some reason, and I don't remember why.
Mm-hmm.
No, I think I become unimpaired at the end of this turn. Is that right?
No, you became. Oh, yes. At the end of, if you became impaired at the end of your last turn, then yes, you'll be unimpaired at the beginning of this turn. I mean, at the end of this turn.
The end of this. So I'm still impaired. Okay. But fortunately, I also, as a brawler, gain +1 accuracy on all melee attacks against targets I am grappling. And guess who I'm going to attack? That would be the person I'm grappling. So I'm going to barrage with my war pike, my power knuckles, and of course also my segment knife, because that's what a barrage is for me. All right. And so, yeah, I have 1 difficulty, -1 accuracy, so that's 0. Okay, my attack roll with my war pike, that's my laser tail, is a 19.
That will hit.
All right, that is a hit. And then, oh my God, that does 4 kinetic and 5 explosive damage.
Stop.
So I use one of my thermal charges.
Ooh, so that's a total of 9, right?
That's 9 damage, yes.
Hell yeah, 1 second. So once again, she is a light melee type, so she doesn't have any armor. She's going to take all of that. Ooh, what does that look like? What is it going into her? The tail, right?
I think it just stabs right through the center of this mech.
Ooh, yes.
Yeah,
It actually tears away at a bit of, you're impaled right through it, and it tears away enough of the center where the cockpit would be. It's just to the left of the cockpit. You missed by mere yards, but it tears enough of that away that you can see poking out, like a little head pokes out from the from the slit where the metal is pulling apart, and tiny beady black eyes of a little cat is staring right at you.
We are staring directly into each other's eyes, pupils completely dilated, because she did the same to my cockpit on her turn.
Okay, great. What's your next move?
All right, so I'm continuing this barrage with my power knuckles. That is, I believe, my front claws. My attack roll for that is a 15.
Oh, that misses. Oh, that just misses.
Right, that's a miss. By the way, I did get a Blade Master die from hitting with my main melee weapon. I also believe I get to do... Sorry, I just want to check what I can do with my Blade Master die.
Sorry, guys. I just want to check what I can do with my Blade Master die, said total non-weeb. I feel like there are like sketches that are like blank in real life, you know, like if this was with real people or something. I think there should be like a Yu-Gi-Oh! In real life sketch where people spend most of the duel looking up the rules. Like, they'll be like, I'm going to banish you to the Shadow Realm and you will release my grandfather's soul. But does anyone know, like, so if my card's in attack mode and I'm using... and I got this equipped, is that like, does that precede your turn?
Thank you. I have found something that I'm going to do. And I'm going to instantly expend that Blade Master die I got by hitting with my main melee weapon to trip Alpha 9000. As a quick action, I can choose an adjacent character and they must pass an agility save or fall prone.
Hell yeah. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and do that save. Let's see. She got a nat 1. I'm not effing with you.
This motherfucker tripped.
So she's prone. Ground. She's prone.
She is prone. What in prone? Does that give any difficulty? Am I being attacked?
She's gonna have to spend her movement getting up next turn, and I think that also if you're prone, do you get an advantage, right, on
all
your
attacks
attack?
Receive 1 accuracy. So would you mind terribly if I just roll a d6 on that 15 and see if I get like more than a 1?
Okay, sure, but only because I'm a really nice crazy cat.
That's a 1 I got.
It's a 1!
Is 16 hit?
Wait, that hits! Because it's a 16! It's a 16!
Okay, great.
15 plus 1 is a 16, it hits!
Okay. That's a hit then.
I can't believe it.
Okay, let me do that again. Okay, that is 3 explosive damage.
Oh, man. Okay. Man, you could just see like shards of this armor coming off and the hissing from the cockpit, the cat hissing. Perhaps it's a hissing so loud you can even hear it in your mind. After all, is there a question of whether or not you and Alpha 9000 share a mind or perhaps competing for one?
I feel like we are. And I think also because we are like in each, like peeking into each other's cockpits, we both hiss and then there becomes awful feedback on each other's microphones.
Oh, it's like you are yin and yang.
Exactly.
You are like Shar and Amuro, meant to be together and fight forever, but also you have so much in common.
Char!
Amuro!
Okay, and then with my segment knife, that
Beaches!
And I did just get a crit with my segment knife, and that's before the accuracy, which is a 5.
Hell yeah!
So there we go. That's a 24. Yeah.
That hits.
5. Yeah. Okay, hit. And that is 4 energy damage.
Hell yeah.
Let me tell you, I rolled a D3 and it's a 2 + 1.
You can roll it again.
I rolled again with a real die and I got a 1. So that's another 2 damage. So 6.
Great. Well, I have news. Alpha 9000, as this describe your final attack and like where you hit it and things like that.
So I think it's the front, basically tail, then trip with the front claws, like grabbing the legs, slamming to the ground, and then with the back claws, essentially doing like a full kick, like a full getting up like on hind legs and kick.
Well, with narrative permission, I first of all need to make a quick roll. Okay. With narrative permission, that last kick, Alpha 9000 is knocked away from the grapple with 18,000 right here back into the stair unit over here, and she crumples against it as more bits of the outside pearlescent white armor start to come off. And in fact, the snout, that last kick got right up there in the snout, and it bent it so hard that it's now fallen off the face, and all that's left is this sort of creepy Terminator-esque, like the androids that you guys recovered from the dropship, just the wiring and that blue sort of goo pumping throughout this skull unit. I went ahead and rolled her structure damage because she is down 1 structure, and she got a 2, which means she has system trauma. Part of her mech is torn off by the damage. On a 1, 2, 3, all the weapons on 1 mount are destroyed.
Nice.
So you can go ahead and see that from this head out topples that turret gun, and it hits the floor. It's so heavy that the tile from the tram station just comes up like dust from where it landed. The turret is now not operational. All she has now is her carbon fiber sword that's gripped in her shaking hand.
What was that you said about consequences?
Oh, you'll feel them soon, fish. You all will.
Are the rest of us just like turning off our comms or like taking the headphones off every time this comes
Depends
through?
on how you feel about cat hisses.
Yeah, no, I think Decency absolutely has like one full ear, like is wearing headphones and has one full ear off. And just
Decency
like
cannot
constantly
handle the psychic
other way.
cat hissing.
By the way, I think because I am allowed to do this, I have taken 2 heat from getting that overkill with my energy weapon. However, I am going to overcharge since I'm allowed to do that. And so she's knocked back, but does that end the grapple?
Yes, it does end the grapple.
Okay, it does end the grapple. That's okay, because I am going to close the distance with my skirmisher trait, because I turned my my core on. My sort of glowing blue mech essentially, lets me to move 4 spaces after hitting something. So I move back right, closing the distance. I incur 1 heat for overcharging, and then I am going to attack her again with my war pike. And that attack roll is it's a 9, folks.
Oh, I'm sorry about that. You could say it really coolly, like went into the stairs right behind, now like crumbling cement, and she just managed to dodge. You're fish. You don't understand. I'm inside your mind as you're inside mine. I know everything you're about to do.
I know nothing about what you are about to do. However, I will simply kill you.
Well, no, you won't.
And sorry, is she still prone too, or did she get up?
Yes.
Okay, great. So I'm just standing over her menacingly.
All right. I believe 18,000. Is that the end of your turn?
It is. I can't. I mean, I guess I could move, but no, I'm fine.
All right, Hatuey, it's your turn. It's your time.
Awesome. So let's do my 5 movement to the left toward Alice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think I can end up in front of her on the right.
Yeah.
Great.
And then you're right in line with Sentinel.
Awesome. Okay, so from there, let's first do a skirmish with my main ox mount, so my assault rifle and my Nexus. So, and I get +1 on my ranged attacks because of my mech. So let's do here. It's a 14.
That will hit.
Yes. Okay, so then let's see, 1d6 kinetic damage. That's a 2.
Oh, well, that's okay. He has only 1 armor, so he's going to go ahead and take 1 damage there, a little glancing blow. Vera's going to look over her shoulder and give a little shrug, as if to sort of egg you on.
And then since my Nexus is on the same mount, I'm going to continue the skirmish with that.
Okay.
And that one is a smart weapon, so it'll go against E defense.
Great.
Let's try that attack. Ooh, it's only an 11.
Oh, that does not hit.
Oh, wait, I do get, since it's an Ox weapon, I do get +1 accuracy because of my gunslinger. Oh, so 11, I got a 2, so that's 13 total.
It hits!
Yay!
Yay!
Woo, that was close. All right. 1d3. Oh, man. That's 1 damage.
That is okay. I believe that E damage the armor doesn't affect E damage, so he's still going to take 1 damage.
Oh, good. Good. Okay. And then I'm going to do a tech attack on the Sentinel as well. Gonna try to invade. So let me roll 16.
That hits.
Awesome. So I'm going to do and let me double check. I think with the invade action, they automatically take 2 heat.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm going to use that Mirage again. So targeting the Sentinel and making Vera invisible to the Sentinel until the end of the Sentinel's next turn.
Ooh, hell yeah. Good job.
Thank you. And then, oh, sorry.
No, go for it. Go for it.
I would also like to overcharge, because why not? We're here.
It's the thing to do.
It's the thing to do. So I'll take that 1 heat, and then I'm going to go ahead and deploy a turret drone. I'd like to put it kind of halfway between the Sentinel and Peaches.
That's Alpha 9000 to you.
I know. Great, yeah, to where it kind of has line of sight to both of them. Okay, so that's deployed, and that's my turn.
That's badass. Ben, I'm sorry. I just realized I'm a bad GM, and I'm a hurtful person, because the Sentinel has bodyguard on it, which means it should have gotten an attack on you because of Overwatch.
Yeah.
So I'm going to run really quickly back and go ahead, and as 18,000 is attacking with his war pike, the Sentinel is going to turn and unleash their combat shotgun onto 18,000, and we're going to see what they get. They got an 18.
That hits.
And that is going to be 10 kinetic damage.
Damn. And can you remind me, when I take damage and lose a structure, do I continue taking damage after the structure loss?
Yes. No, I actually think... Oh, yes, you do. No, I thought you didn't. I thought it went down to 0 and then you got to restart.
No, I think you continue taking damage after you recover it.
All right, here I go. Losing. All right, I also get some system trauma here.
We all have system trauma. That's why we seek out therapy.
All right, and all the weapons on my flex mount are destroyed. So you just see as this shotgun blast hits me, like it just like all the glowing parts of the claws just like shatter away.
Oh, that's so awful, but also beautiful. Oh man. Okay, so the claws are gone now.
Yes, and I am almost dead. I have like 6 hit points and 1 structure left. So
you bet. Okay. We are now going to, I believe, it is Decency's turn.
I think I know what I'm going to do, but let's see if I can do this. So I want to move 3 hexes. Decency is very slow. I love the idea that this is just like, yeah.
You sidle up next to Derrick.
Yeah, pounding the floor. But then they're going to actually boost.
Oh my gosh, Decency is boosting. This is a boss battle.
I know. But now I am going to activate. This is as close as I can get, buddy. But I'm going to activate my Fortress Protocol so that if anyone needs to come and hide behind me, say a very hurt feline, they can. My mech. Oh gosh, I'm not going to just. Well, I'll tell y'all what it is, but then I'll describe it. Basically, my mech becomes a fortified emplacement. Sections of hardcover in a line. So like on either side of me here, I think facing towards towards Peaches. Those become 2 sections of hardcover unfold from your mech drawn in any direction. These cover sections have immunity to all damage. Additionally, the following effects apply while active. I can't move. I'm immobilized. I benefit from hardcover, even in the open, and gain immunity to knockback prone and all involuntary movement. When I brace, I go other stuff, but also any character that gains hardcover from me or the sections also gains immunity to knockback prone and involuntary movement, and gains the benefits of blast plating.
OMG.
Yeah.
So it's just like big boy powers.
Right. And I think what it looks like is all of those painted kind of boxes that it looked like Decency had basically painted, maybe even like absent-mindedly on the Ever Given, are actually end up being sections of this fortified emplacement. And I think the Ever Given like roots, there's even like a little bit of a stance building where it like roots its feet in the ground, and then those sections start like collapsing out, like like all the way across, coming out from the Ever Given's back and sides. So it still has like this big, the cannon turret like on its shoulder, and it still has free range of like, I want to say it has like free range of one arm, but the other one also becomes a part of like, the fortified in whatever it's called, emplacement, becomes part of the little side bits. And it just, I think as it ends, it lands hard in the ground, and you see like all that dust come up in that really satisfying way that happens in like martial arts movies. When people kick, it's like just dust like up in the air. So I did that. That's something I did. Now I'm gonna do some other things. I don't think that Decency feels the need to like explain what's happening. I'm sure this has happened before in like a tough spot. So I think they feel confident that people will know what to do if they need it. Yeah. Maybe they even say like over the comms as they hit the button, or maybe it's a voice in the mech that comes out over comms that's just like, Fortress enabled.
And when I'd like to believe that whenever that fortress is enabled, it means that things have gone to shit.
It absolutely means that things have gone to shit. It only ever comes out when things have gone to shit. Or when Tristan is like, it's our last fight. I want to use every single cool thing I have that I haven't used yet. Valid. Okay, so now I am going to check some distance. Perfect. I am throwing a frag grenade really right in between. Well, I guess why I'm saying that is if I throw a frag grenade here and it explodes, would it explode this mine, or is that mine completely unaffected?
No, the mine would blow up.
Beautiful. I want to throw it right here.
You bet.
Yeah, all characters within a blast 1 area must pass an agility save or take 1d6 explosive.
The mine cannot roll. It is going to be destroyed automatically because it cannot move. But go ahead and roll for this. I have to do an agility save for the cedar.
Mm-hmm.
And so do I, right?
No, it's only 1 blast radius.
Okay,
only 1, yeah. So you're not close enough because we're doing it right there. All right, that is a 4. That is a failure.
Great. So it takes 1d6 explosive damage. It's a 2.
It has 2 armor. Crap.
Damn. That's fine. I'd still destroy that mine. I feel okay about that. And then I was gonna overcharge anyway, so I'll just mark an overcharge and...
Once again, it's in vogue. Overcharge.
Yeah, why not? Why not? Is there anything special? I have not used overcharge yet. Is there anything special I need to know?
You take 1 heat.
Just the perfect.
And then it scales up the more times you overcharge in a fight.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. Yeah, I'm going to use my heavy machine gun, which has done me a lot of good this city fight. And I think I am going to actually attack Peaches because I have a concern.
The disrespect. Her name is Alpha 9000.
I'm so sorry. It's funny
Peaches
because
is better.
I keep saying Peaches because I don't want to say the wrong number. I keep telling myself that I
what is half
the
of
number.
18,000?
So I keep saying Peaches as if that's more
Georgia's
respectful.
national fruit? Go ahead. Okay, do your roll to attack Peaches.
Yeah. Okay, skirmish.
Oh, and she is currently prone, so I think that you get 1 accuracy.
Okay, great. So I rolled a 15, and then the accuracy was a 4.
Well, that hits.
Sick. Okay. This is my evil damage roll. It's the 2d6 plus 4, which I'm going to do in roll 20 because save myself some math. It hits for 9 damage.
Oh my god.
And that's kinetic, if that matters.
Thank you for letting me know, but whoa, okay, 9. That means we're down to there. Oh my goodness. Decency, you want to describe how your machine gun, Peaches is still standing, but it does rip quite through, so I want to describe how this machine gun pops out and does business?
Yeah, I think it, has stayed on the Ever Given shoulder ever since I used it earlier. So it's just on the right shoulder that has become part of this, deployed wall. And 1 shot comes out, and follow it in slow motion as it hits, some gritty part of her mech, and little sparks fly. And then just a series of other bullets come out and follow it, and the camera stays on her mech as those pummel through.
Absolutely. It's just getting riddled with bullet holes until it's all sort of smoking. And that blue goo that seems to be what's pulsing energy through the mech is just spraying everywhere like blood in a samurai movie, just all over. And in fact, a lot of the blood is, I think, going to get on 18,000's mech. I don't know. Do you think it's all over the face of the mech?
Yeah, that's extremely cool.
Okay, Decency. Do you want to do anything else for your turn?
No, that is all I got. Blue suits you, 18,000. Have you considered dyeing your fur?
Can I? I'd love to use my turret drone reaction at this point.
Yes.
So whenever an allied character within 10 of the drone successfully attacks, then the turret drone will deal... Oh, I don't even have to roll. It's going to deal 3 kinetic damage to their target. So
that is sick.
Oh
Alpha
my
9000.
god! Hell yeah! So just as the blue is done spraying all over 18,000, and Peach is about to turn with great fury towards Decency in the back, and more blue gets all over 18,000. Okay, Derrick, it's your turn. Ooh, it's getting teal and bloody out there.
Yeah. So I used all of my loaded weapons, so I'm gonna stabilize. I cool my mech, so he like reaches up for a lever, vents the heated up mech, and then reloads all weapons. That's a full action. Then, now that everything's loaded, he's going to overcharge for 1d3 heat. Ooh, which is 2 heat. Now.
Oopsies. Well, that's the second best option.
Yeah. And he's going to move 3 spaces toward the cedar and pull out his... Is it a plasma blade? Yeah, just face to face.
Hell yeah.
His charged blade, and he will skirmish with that. So that's a d20 plus 2. Jesus, fuck. 5? I imagine
that
doesn't hit.
Does not hit.
No. So he misses. Love that. And he cries a little. And...
I would like to use a full action to cry.
I would love to use a full action to ball. He like swipes, and then it's not reliable. No, yeah. And then that's his turn. He ends his turn.
Alrighties. So, you are all surveying the battlefield as is, when suddenly you guys see on all of your comm systems, or all of your whatever screen you have in your mech, some interesting text is coming in. It's saying something along the lines of all systems into overdrive. Would you like to use overdrive? Would you like to use overdrive? Courtesy of Agate Witch. Lila, who is still invisible at this point, is using Voice of Authority. If an allied character fails an attack check or save, you can re-roll it once a round. That is only one character can use it, though. So basically, you guys can negotiate who wants to use this, but that is just a free action she gets every round. Basically, all of y'all get to re-roll. The team gets to re-roll one roll. Next, she is going to go ahead and use pain transference. Lila is, of course, very attached to Prince Derrick, but it seems as though Prince Derrick's knight, specifically the cat knight, seems to be in a lot of danger. Now, he is doing as a royal retainer should, which is putting his life on the line for his liege. But at the same time, Lila knows that good help is hard to come by, and therefore, not to mention, Prince Derrick seems to be kind of flummoxed right now. Seems to be sort of having a lot of issues. Maybe it's performance anxiety. She's thinking about that. She is going to go ahead and use pain transference. She is going to go ahead and use that against, it's going to be charged. We need to recharge 5 for that. It is a quick attack. She gets a 4 attack bonus on that. The witch is going to make a tech attack against a character within sensors. On a success, anytime the target gains heat until the end of the witch's next turn. All of their allied characters within range 5 also gain the same amount of heat. So she is going to go ahead and roll that. Ooh, okay, that is a 16, which I believe, let me check. I believe that is gonna hit Alpha 9000. Hell yeah. All right. So Alpha 9000 suddenly twitches as her tech attack is successful, and that is going to go ahead and be... All right, basically it's just good. There's no damage to it. It's just going to make sure that everyone takes the same amount of heat that the that Alpha 9000 will, and then she's gonna go ahead and or wait, no, I just realized because she's an allied character, I have to roll for her damage the way you guys roll for her damage. It's not just NPC damage. So this does hit, and I do have to roll for it. And that is going to go ahead and be 5 damage. What? Queen! Queen Lila. All right, Alpha 9000 is, through its sensors, going to be taking another 5 damage. Lila is going to go ahead and, for her last move on her turn, is going to go ahead and, she already did a quick attack. All of her attacks are quick attacks, but she could do 2. You could do 2 quick attacks in a round, right? Like you can just, yeah, great. Okay, she's going to go ahead and use predatory logic. She also gets a +4 attack bonus, and she's going to be targeting the Sentinel. Awesome. And she went ahead and got another 16 for that, which is going to hit. The witch makes a tech attack against a character within sensors. On a success, the target immediately, and as a reaction, uses a weapon chosen by the witch to attack a character within range. So Lila basically is going to hack the Sentinel's systems, and she's going to make it attack the Cedar over here.
Yeah.
Cool.
So we're going to go ahead and do a quick little attack for him. He gets a +3. Oh, that hits for sure. So Derrick, I'm going to give you the honor here. Would you like to describe how suddenly the Sentinel just turns around and ends the Cedar's life in front of you?
I think for Derrick, with a lot of wishful thinking, he had just swiped with his blade. And I think he tried to do that cool guy anime thing where you like swipe and look away. And he's been like waiting for the cedar to be cut in half. And when it does, he's just like, nailed it. And like, yeah, I think that's what Derrick does in this moment.
That's beautiful. Because
even though it was riddled with bullets and not cut in half.
Derrick's not big on what's the word I'm looking for? Not big on details. Just not big on details. Yeah. Who needs it? Where is she? Right here. I've got my witch somewhere here. Because just as you're doing that, you go nice. Lila pops up right next to you. And we're gonna go ahead. This cedar is destroyed, dead and gone. Lila pops up right next to you.
I think he opens comms and he's like, "Did you see that?"
Yes, I did. I took control of the Sentinel systems.
What? Oh yeah, that makes sense.
Did you think that you did that?
No. What? No. No.
Did you think that you?
And then he sheathes his laser sword.
Who taught you the way of the blade? Did you go to a Royal Academy?
Launchpad McQuack.
Launch what now? Launch who?
My mentor. He taught me the ways of the blade. His name is Launchpad McQuack.
Was he a knight of the realm, and all this is going on? I'm so sorry, Todd. Do you want to keep going?
No, I feel fine. Pausing there.
I could genuinely listen to this for hours. Just hours.
All right, so the next up is going to be the Sentinel, who is once again going to activate Bodyguard. Now, the Sentinel cannot see Vera, so the Sentinel, now shrouded in some weird things with their invisibility, they are going to go ahead and instead attack Derrick right there, who's within line of sight. We are going to go ahead and do a roll there with a +3 bonus. Oh, he got a nat 20. It's a crit.
Yep. Hit me.
But I actually... for NPCs, I don't know if do I get to? I don't think crits matter for NPCs unless they're a boss. Actually, am I wrong about that? I don't think they get a crit on theirs.
I don't know.
Actually, okay.
I think you normally just it's like advantage but with damage. And so if you want to hit me hard, you can hit me hard.
Hell yeah, hit me, baby. I'm into it. So that's gonna be 10 plus 4. That's going to be 14
Jesus.
kinetic damage. So Derrick, as he's trying to explain, like, that Launchpad McQuack is maybe a Knight of the Realm-ish, there's going to be a giant blast to your back.
Oh, no. Okay, so I have 1 armor, but that's going to take me all the way down through a structure. So roll a d6. 3. System trauma. Parts of my mech are torn off by the damage. 6. Systems. Okay, so I will destroy that. And great. And then I take an additional... I was at 8. He did 14, but I have 1 armor, so he did 13, which means 5. Great. Todd can do math. Everything's fine. Everything's great.
Everything's great.
Cool.
Okay, and it still has 1 more turn.
Oh, wait.
Yeah.
I'm gonna return fire. I'm gonna return fire.
yeah.
I'm sorry. I did not. I apologize.
Shot me in the back, and I'm gonna turn around and hopefully cool guy return fire. So I'm going to fire with my hand cannon. 17 plus 2 is a 19.
That hits.
How about that? And this is my first time firing with a loading weapon after I recently reloaded it. So that is a Roland chamber. So it's going to do 4 regular damage and then 4 explosive damage. Because F this bad Larry.
That's a total of 10 damage. That's a total of
8.
8 damage. Minus 1 for the armor. So that's going to be a total of 9.
7.
Let me see. 7. Oh my god. 8 minus 1 is 7. 7 damage. Okay, we're down to there. Excelente. Oh, that was pretty cool, guy. Do you wanna say something to Lila?
I think he like fires without turning, and is like, "I'll protect you," and then like does a cool spin with his gun and holsters it again.
All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and say that after you hit the Sentinel is gonna jump down here, and he is gonna use his retractable sword. And he's gonna just try to, as you're not facing away, once again stab you in the back because now it's personal.
Yep.
And he got a 16 plus 3. That's a plus 6.
Hits.
That's a 22. Yeah,
that hits.
So, Derrick, that retractable sword goes right through you for 8 kinetic damage.
Love that.
Love that journey for me.
Cool. So I think as he does this cool guy pose, and takes another structure damage.
Oh no.
Yeah, that just cut straight through his structure.
Oh no.
Emergency power kicks on, lights are flashing. I rolled a 5 on my first one, and then
Did you just lose 2 structure in 1 turn?
Yep. Rolled a 5 on the second
rules.
one. That's great. Oh, it's a glancing blow.
Yeah, I don't think it's that bad. I think you're
emergency
impaired.
systems kick in, and I stabilize my mech. However, I'm impaired until the end of my next turn. Cool. Okay. No big deal.
So it stabs you, and you're like trying really hard not to F up. So.
Yeah, and I'm just like, I'm gonna protect you so hard.
Vera in the background right here, Vera is just shaking her head like kids these days. Speaking of Vera, I believe it's Alpha 9000's turn. All right, Alpha 9000 is going to use her movement to stand up. She is still, I think she's close enough to 18,000 here to be still engaged with 18,000. I think it's going to be hard for her to get away. So I think she's going to go ahead and use her carbon fiber sword for her first melee attack here.
All right, I could die right here.
Oh no! Oh god!
I could.
Remember that you do have Lila's power if you want to re-roll any roll.
Okay, that's a good point.
All right, let's go ahead. We're going to do this plus 6 bonus. She got a 15. Oh, plus 1 accuracy. Sorry.
It hits me anyway.
Oh, okay. She got a 17.
Yeah, this very much hits me.
All right, it's going to be 6 damage.
I'm dead.
You're dead?
I'm dead.
You're not dead. You're not dead. Your mech might be destroyed.
I'm dead.
Right?
Yeah,
Ooh.
my mech is
It's
destroyed.
so much harder to hit a cat. It's gonna be
Wait,
fine.
oh, Ben, you have to describe how this blade goes through you. You have to do it.
So can you just remind me before I do this, like what happens to me? I explode in this thing? Yeah.
No, unless I know you don't want to. So on the last structure damage, I believe, when you have no structure, right? No left.
I have 0 structure now.
You have 0 structure. The mech is destroyed.
Yes.
So pilots that do not eject remain in the wreckage of their mech, which is counted as an object that grants hard cover. So basically, no, it does not explode yet.
Great. So yeah, no, I think it's been glowing blue and whirring, and so I think it just sort of like as she what weapon it was just this carbon fiber sword.
Yeah, it's her samurai sword.
Yeah, I mean, I think does she behead me and then just the lights go.
Ooh, love that. So Alpha 9000 gets to her feet shakily, and she pulls the sword back. There's no sort of finesse in this style, but she swings it, and maybe it's just that you're too weak to try a dodge, or you try, but it's too late, and the blade severs 18,000's head, and the whole cat's head just flies off and sort of kathunks onto the ground, and Alice yells out, "Fish! Fish eject, now!"
How tense.
Okay.
I mean, I can't eject until my turn, so I can't do anything.
Alpha 9000 looks down at the now destroyed mech, and she can't quite. Can she see Fish within it? Can she see Fish the cat?
Oh yeah, I mean, I think the cockpit is probably like right in the chest. So yeah, like this area that's already been a little pried open. Like, yes, head sliced off, just like head sliced off, and then you see like the neck. Inside the neck is another neck, and inside the neck is Fish.
So Peaches, the cat, steps out from the cockpit. It sort of like littles open a little bit, even though it too is rattly now, and it's covered in that blue goo. And Peach's white and brown fur is actually matted with all of that blue goo that's still dripping off of the mech. And her little head still has that helmet that has all the cords attached back to Dr. Russell's body, the robot that is now laying prone and beat up within this mech. And she sits on top with her little paws right there hunched up against her haunches, and her tail is sort of, tell me, cat expert Ben Ferber, what's a good sign of joy from a cat?
It's straight up and vibrating.
She is straight up and vibrating as she looks down at you into your little beady eyes. Do you see now the difference between us, Fish? The difference in ability?
Yes, your mech was slightly hardier than mine, and someone else was shooting at me while I was killing you.
No.
If this were a one-on-one, I would have won.
Stop it! No, you wouldn't have. No! I have something you never could, Fish. I have ambition, desire. That is why I won. Not because I have a better mech, even though it is great and I built it. But
do you see how outnumbered you are?
She looks up and sees all the other mechs that are now against her. It matters not. I have the ability to defeat you all, to kill you all, and it shouldn't matter anyway. My real opponents, and she's going to use her turn to jump up here, right next to Alice. The real object of my ire is here.
Wait, I have a question.
Yes.
So she used her movement to get up.
So she's going to boost for her last action.
Ah, shit. Fuck.
Because unfortunately, villain monologuing is not an action in the game, or it's a free action. I looked it up on the Reddit, and villain monologuing is a free action. So she's gets to boost right there, and she's going to be facing off with Hatuey. Now, Hatuey, you did do that cover here, so she is going to have a little bit of trouble seeing everyone here. But she's now basically, I'm going to put her actually over here. She's facing off against you. Okay, and that is actually the end of Alpha 9000's turn. She has made her next target known, and it is Dr. Alice Sabri, currently completely defenseless except for Hatuey. Alrighty, so Vera is going to be our next. She's going to go next, and she is going to go ahead and she's going to use her heavy assault rifle, and she's going to target 18,000. Once again, it is, or sorry, Alpha 9,000.
I was about to say, yeah, I'm dead.
Do it. Oh, crap. Oh, my God, she got a 3. Vera, you need to roll better. But it is reliable, so no matter what, it is taking... Alpha 9000 takes 3 damage. Ooh, Alpha 9000 is not looking good here. And Vera is then going to be a knight in shining mech for her man here, and also, I guess, for all these innocent people. And she is going to jump in between them and pull out her combat knife. Hatuey, get back. And she is going to go ahead and attack. She gets a +2. She did it! She got a good roll! She got a 16! And she is going to do... Mom. Oh my goodness. Alrighties. And she is going to go ahead and do 6 damage. All right. Ooh, that knife goes in deep to Alpha 9000. And Peaches, who's still piloting it through her head, but stayed outside and is glaring down at Alice Sabri. Vera, out of my way! You've now seen how superior I am! You should have chosen me from the beginning! Meow! And Alpha 9000 is not looking good, guys. So unfortunately, Fish, it is your turn. 18,000, it's your turn, but your mech doesn't work. What are you gonna do?
Yeah. Well, okay. Let me go to my mech and see what I can do. Yeah. The only things I can do are leave this mech. Okay. How far can I walk as a person?
Oh,
what's my
as
speed?
A human, your move is... what's your speed, Ben? What's your mech speed?
Yeah, it's 6.
6. I'm going to go ahead and say that you can move 3, just for
that
expediency.
Seems great. Okay. Yeah. Which is also not quite enough to get into Decency's bunker, right?
Not quite, but close.
Yeah, I'm going to keep this hard cover, I think. Because Tristan, what's the bunker's cover? Like, does it provide more cover than me staying in here?
Yeah, I mean, it provides like a lot of immunity to things, and you gain the benefits of blast plating, which is resistance to damage, burn, and heat from blast, burst, line, and cone attacks.
Got it. Yeah, I guess the problem is I'm either walking towards something that can shoot me and kill me, like within 4 spaces, and I do have to be exposed for a turn. So yeah, no, I think 18,000 is out of options here. Can't run towards. Oh, wait, that's the yellow is Hatuey's drone, right?
Yes.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
I mean, I could theoretically jump on the drone.
Do it!
I don't know if that's allowed.
Do it, you coward.
Is it allowed?
Hatuey, what do you think about your drones? Your turret drones?
Yeah, absolutely. It's a little crab machine out there. Totally mountable for sure.
Yeah, great. So I think I am indeed going to dismount. As a free action. And then, yeah, I'm going to run 3 spaces over to that drone and hop onto it. And try to pilot
it. Alice can just vaguely peek between Vera and Alpha 9000 here and sees Fish, only Fish the cat, jumping onto this turret. Fish, what are you doing?
My mech is destroyed. I need another vehicle to save you.
Fish, no, it's too dangerous.
Yes, that is my job.
Wait, Julia's very moved. Okay, that is, I guess that's 18,000's turn.
Yeah.
We're moving on to Hatuey. It's your turn.
Okay. I have a protocol where I can move my turret drone. So... 18,000, where do you want to be?
I think you know where I want to be.
Yes, then absolutely. I'm gonna shepherd that drone. Like, do you want to like climb on Alpha 9000's back? What are we talking about?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the idea, is like if I can basically, distract or grapple her as much as possible with whatever this thing can do, to buy some time. That's what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
This is amazing.
This is amazing.
I have to be useful.
Yeah, so Hatuey, the drone moves, and what do you think? 18,000. Do you like grip on with your little paws?
I think so. This like 18,000 in the hard suit is basically just like grabbed onto this thing, like going whoa in the neck, like basically just trying to steer this thing as much as possible.
And it lands, I guess, right on the back of Alpha 9000, to which she sort of starts to like try to swat it with her sword. Ah, fish! Haven't I finished with you already?
No.
What? Pretty to the point. All right, Hatuey, what's next for you?
Oh, this is just amazing. A cat in a mech mounted by a crab drone that is mounted by another cat. It's just fantastic. Okay, so let's see. Okay, so I'm going to start with a skirmish. So I'm going to use... Oh, yes. Okay, sorry. I'm going to use my Veil rifle, and hopefully I roll well. So this attacks or shoots in a line, so a line of 10. It's the weapon that does not attack allied characters caught in the area of effect. Instead, it gives them soft cover.
Oh.
So I'm going to shoot that straight ahead through Vera, Alpha 9000, and Fish.
Great.
So hopefully... Oh, and it's accurate. Okay, so I get accuracy. I get +1 on attack rolls with ranged weapons. This better work. 26 is my total roll.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, that hits.
All right. So then damage, not as much as I'd like, but it's okay. So that is 1d3 + 1. I rolled a 5, so that's sorry, because I was doing a 6, so that's a 3 + 1. So 4 damage.
Hatuey, you said this is a Veil rifle, and how do you think it goes through the allied characters to give them soft cover? Is it like an E attack or?
Yeah, it's not technically a smart weapon.
Yeah. Okay.
That's a really good question.
Do you think it's just like you can control it enough to be like hit that and not that?
Yeah, maybe whenever it's like charging up, I type in a little program real quick to specify what action it's going to take for each thing it interacts with.
Great, because I just want you to have some clarity, because I would like you to tell me how you'd like to do this.
Hey. So, I like to think that the Veil rifle pops up from the center, swiveling center of the crab mech, the Upia, and it's charging up. Hatuey types in his thing real quick. It says, "Hold on, Vera and Fish. It's time." And we see it charge up. There's energy all through it. And as it goes around Vera, it kind of shimmers. You see kind of sparkling around her. And then on the other side of her, it concentrates again until like a laser beam shoots right through and then shimmers around Fish and my drone again before shooting off into the distance.
Alpha 9000's mech, that blast goes right through her stomach, just above where Peaches was. And Peaches, in fact, the blow is so hard that actually, and that combined with all of the Warpike skirmishes to her middle from Fish, the mech actually splits apart in two at where the waist would be. And Peaches jumps for her life, and the tubes from her helmet snap off, and the teal sort of goo trails off in a shimmering. The second it hits the air, this particular goo turns to dust, and this shimmering dust goes all over this veil, and all of you are enveloped in this particular dust. And Peaches lands. We're gonna go ahead and Peaches lands on top of the turned tram, now no longer attached to her mech or to Dr. Bertrand Russell as you knew him. The Sentinel over here collapses immediately to the ground. It seems as though it was also being psychically controlled by Peach's device. And it also just crumbles to its knees and falls at Derrick. Maybe Derrick will try to pretend he did that too.
Derrick fully starts doing like the Final Fantasy arm pump, victory music playing in his head.
Lila's just sort of staring silently. Peaches is there, and she looks up at Fish, now in their hard suit, or in his hard suit on top of his drone. And now Peaches cannot be understood by most of the pilots, because now Peaches has no external way to interpret her cat sounds. But Fish, somehow you can hear her perfectly within your own head. This is not the last time we will meet, Fish. They say our kind have 9 lives. We'll see whose runs out first.
It will be yours.
Just stop saying that you're going to kill me. It's say something else.
No.
Do it. Come up with something else right now. It's not fair.
No.
Oh, and she just turns around and she scampers and scampers and scampers, and so as she scampers past the mine, it goes off, and she sort of lets out a cat squeal and keeps going and going and going. And she's pretty fast. I don't think anyone's going to be able to catch her as she gets out over here and seems to scamper out through some sort of dark corner.
Does anyone want to take a pot shot at Peaches?
I think Derrick like levels his weapon and then is like, I'm not gonna shoot a cat.
Peaches is part of my brain. You have my permission to kill Peaches.
By the time you all finish battling Alpha 9000 and her compatriots, the sun has risen. It is dawn in Belena. All the other assault mechs that were deployed throughout the city have followed the Sentinels' lead and collapsed to their knees as you realize they were all being piloted by those wiry android servants of Peaches. Perhaps she had found some way to build a neural network to make them kind of drone-like soldiers that could pilot these throughout Belena and cause generic havoc. The warriors of the Agate Cross did a valiant job of protecting the public, as did local heroes like Roscoe and Roscoe 2 and Roscoe 3 and Roscoe 4. It is thought, actually, that there are going to be very few, if any, casualties, perhaps some wounded throughout the city. But as per usual, Belena is used to danger and can weather the storm, especially with friends and heroes coming to save the day. It is morning. Next, when we check in with our intrepid Lancers, Derrick, you in particular are taking the morning to walk Princess Lila down the streets of Belena towards where the ship that brought the warriors of the Agate Cross, the scientists' other transport ship, they've recovered both now from Hagar, that's set to take them back this morning. You're walking alongside each other in silence initially, a sort of tense awkwardness.
I think I hand her a bubble tea that we for sure got at Roscoe's earlier, but I deploy in this moment to try to break the ice and say, this is a delicacy here.
Oh, are these small creatures here at the bottom?
They're meant to represent small creatures, much like roe, as a delicacy, but they're not fish eggs, because that would be weird in your tea. But yeah, Belena really, yeah.
I see. We have a similar beverage, but all of these small beads are, in fact, the second most intelligent life form on the planet Hagar. We put them in our beverages in order to assert our dominance.
He just fully, like, sucks on that straw for a second, unsure what to say back to her. And then goes,
I've been meaning to ask, Your Highness. I would hate to presume anything, but a lot of things here in Belena don't seem to point to a typical monarchy. For instance, we've been walking down this street for a while, and at the coffee shop this morning, they made you pay. That isn't usual for royalty.
yes, well, I like to blend in among my subjects in order to better understand the needs of the people.
Oh, so nobody here in Belena knows what you look like. That's why we're not being stopped regularly on the street, or people aren't falling to their knees?
Yeah, this, mask array is actually really useful for protecting my princely identity when I walk amongst the masses.
I realize now I've never seen you without your mask.
Well, I'm sure that could be arranged, but I wouldn't want to cause a panic here downtown in Belena when everyone recognized that I'm the Prince of Belena. He says, like, kind of quietly, hoping no one around him will hear.
I understand. I have heard of such systems where the heir must be protected, lest those who would challenge your right to the throne would assassinate you immediately. Not that I'm suggesting you're afraid of assassins. Not at all.
Oh, no. In fact, Launchpad McQuack made it very clear that I should sometimes try to assassinate the assassins myself.
Oh my goodness.
Try to get the old once over on them, you know?
Oh, you need to stick it to the haters.
Yeah, exactly.
I heard that on the ship coming over from one of the scientists. I think it's a delightful phrase.
Anyway, when will you be heading back to Hagar?
Unfortunately, I'm needed back immediately. We take off in just a few minutes.
Well, I'll be sure to... I still need to broker that peace with you, with the scientists, I think.
Oh,
right?
Well, our relationship has already improved vastly, considering they gave us a ride here to Belena in your time of need. We should have given them more of a chance, but I think from now on our relationship is going to be one of peace and goodwill. That is, unless they cross us, and then they will be destroyed without mercy.
Well, if that happens, and you need help, though I know you don't need my help, I would be honored to assist in any way I can.
Frankly, you probably shouldn't be seen out here with me any longer. I think some of the locals know of my status, and if they see us talking so openly, they may suspect something.
Well, perhaps they should suspect. And perhaps I should work on my sword fighting skills.
Yes, you're terrible. But I understand that perhaps the knights of this realm don't use swords as often. Well, this Launchpad McQuack, is he perhaps a user of guns? Of revolvers, maybe?
Well, yes, but more, I meant... And then I think he, like, tries to get close to her. Maybe cherry blossom petals go by. And he says... I thought the custom on Hagar was, if I wanted to win your hand, I would have to best you in a duel.
She blushes real pink. And then, could you do, what are your triggers again? Do you have any that are good for fighting?
For flirting? For fighting?
No, for fighting. The other one. The other F.
Act unseen or unheard, hacker fix, leader inspire, take control is maybe the best thing I have for fighting, but I don't know that it's really.
So could you just roll me a
it
d20,
says use
please?
Force or violence to direct action.
Right, but there's no inherent defense there. I don't think.
I mean, is she just trying to like suplex me, or can I try to hip toss her?
Maybe. Yeah. I'd say you give me a D20 roll and we find out.
Okay. Well, then, yeah, I would like to try to take control in this situation. Assert my force of will violently to give her a hip toss.
Okay, go for it. Why not? Yeah.
9 plus 2 is 11.
That is a success. That is a success there. So Lila reaches out for your waist and wants to like lift you up above her head, and she is quite strong. So I think you're going to barely get out of this one.
Yeah, I think using everything that Launchpad McQuack taught me about using my opponent's strengths against them, I grab one of the arms, step in, put my hip to her hip, and then just gently, very gently, set her down in a way that it's almost like I'm doing a dip. I'm not going to slam her into the ground, but I hold her and I catch her right before she hits.
Ooh, like in a tango drop? Like in a... There's a little silence. Your eyes lock, and those cherry blossom petals, which maybe are just like little pink fish in the tank behind you, are right there, and you're just sort of staring into each other's eyes. And from really, really far away, you hear, "Get a room." I will see you on the battlefield, Prince Derrick.
I would be honored to cross blades with you again.
Decency, you are walking down the street when you see this. You just see the whole... I'm going to say you've been there as long as you want to have been there.
I was joking about this in chat, but can I actually have texted at some point in this scene, have you told her yet, with like 20 question marks?
I think maybe that pops up as they're locking eyes face to face. And with his free hand, he just like dismisses the notification as quickly as possible.
There's another one that's like the person with their arms crossed and a little crown next to it.
He's just like fervently swiping his hand in front of his face to make these messages
Duck not disturb.
And Lila's just too schmitten to even think that's weird.
Love it.
Decency, you see this all happen, but you sort of give it up on this being resolved today. Like, truth will not win today. And you're headed to Roscoe's for your usual pick me up and maybe to check in on how things are going over there.
Cool. Yeah, I think, does Roscoe's band have a t-shirt, by the way?
They do now. He actually got them special made last night for their impromptu concert. That was like, it was actually a secret show, he's going to call it from now on. And actually, when you get to the cafe, he's like, all right, everybody, we do have t-shirts from last night's secret show, Attack on Belena. And you can see, like, on the t-shirt, actually, it's got the silhouette of the 4 Roscoes, but then it's also got the Ever Given in the background, sort of looming over. Yes.
I think I'm like wearing just like a really basic like boiler suit. Like I and like probably sneakers. Like I came here to help pick up just in case the coffee shop is still pretty demolished. And I think the first thing I do is buy a t-shirt and go to the bathroom. And then come back out with the jumpsuit, like the top half tied around my waist, and the t-shirt's like a crop top over it. And I'm wearing it.
Like you've already customized the shirt?
Yes, absolutely. I don't know where they kept the scissors, but it is, or maybe they tore it with their teeth, but they were like, this is not the right length. This is. And yeah, I think they like, instead of going to the line, they lean on like the counter where the baristas put your drinks out to chat with Roscoe for a second.
Decency! Oh, you got a shirt already! Man, why didn't you ever tell me about,
it's a little hard to talk about. Like, hey, you pour me coffee every day. It's really great. And your band is actually not terrible. And also, I kill people for a living.
Oh, yeah, but like I'd never hold that against you. Like, I mean, I kill.
You?
I'd like to believe that I'm a bit of a killer myself, like a killer of your expectations about what music can be.
That is very true. That is a very true thing to say about yourself.
Decency, I talked to the guys, and killer or no killer, we think you're cool, and we would like to offer you. And then he, from under the bar, he pulls out a drumstick that has been very shoddily, like, spray painted gold. We would like to offer you an honorary position in Roscoe and the Midnight Fevers. That's our new name. We changed it last night.
I love it. A. B, thank you. And I think Decency has like absolutely got some medals from service, but this is clearly the most meaningful thing that they have been given in a really long time. And I think they like tuck it in a pocket. And they say, actually, dude, it's really weird. I came here to see if maybe you, I don't know, like knew where I could start taking some drum lessons.
What? What'd you say? What was that?
I don't know. It seems like a great way to let out some steam. Drum lessons?
I have been waiting for this moment ever since I became a barista, which was 2.5 months ago.
Wait, was your first day the first time?
Oh my god.
We're wild.
Like red string connected, Decency.
Okay, well, that's strong.
Oh, Decency. I'm sorry, I think that's my coffee. Behind you, Allison, the scientist who came with the scientist from Hagar, is standing. She's got her little screen, her little iPad-like device against her chest. Oh, I'm sorry, I think that's my chai.
Oh, Allison, you're here. You're here.
Yeah, we gave the Warriors of the Agate Cross a ride, and actually, I've decided to stay here on Belena, work with Unio directly. Hagar was just a little too dramatic for me.
And cold. Miserably cold.
Yeah, that too, I guess.
This place is great. You should absolutely... have you met Roscoe? Roscoe, this is my friend.
I thought I did meet you, but weren't you outside in a different shirt?
Oh, there's 4 Roscoes.
Decency, I remember I wanted to tell you something. I know that Peach has escaped your confrontation down at the Unio headquarters, right?
Yes.
I think that we might have something that can help us track her. And she flips over the iPad, and on it is the torso of the robot with Decency's phone number written on it. I think this might be some kind of serial number, or perhaps coordinates, maybe to where these androids should be shipped, should they ever become defunct or lost. I think this could be Peach's hideout.
I think Decency looks so much like the Ever Given right now. There is no expression on their face. They are completely still. They are just staring glassy-eyed at their phone number that they scribbled on this android body. And then they say, we should definitely work on this together.
I would love that. Now that I'm going to become a Unio employee, maybe I could get assigned to your team.
That would be...
unless I'm being too presumptuous. Maybe you already have someone you like?
No. That would be... I would love to be on a team, in teams with you. That would be great. It's just sometimes it's... Don't worry about it.
Vera's like in the corner sharpening a knife.
You see Decency over Allison's shoulder. The 3 other Roscoes are in the corner. They just all go. We actually, speaking of Unio headquarters, we're scooting on over there. Hatuey, you have been called into a familiar morning meeting. Same time as usual up in Vera's office. What are you going to do when you get in there? Or before you get in there?
So I actually have an idea. What if I like the idea that whenever Vera arrives to her office, Hatuey is waiting outside. And he you can tell he's still like scantily clad because that's just how he rolls. But you can see that maybe he probably like licked his hand and tried to smush his hair in a direction. Just a little bit. And as she walks up, he says, I was just going to let myself in like usual, but I thought I'd wait for you out here.
You grew some respect for authority. I mean, her arm, by the way, hasn't been replaced, so it's still the little tendrils. You grew some respect for authority.
Well, for you. I mean, I've always had respect for you.
Vera very carefully places her tendrils on the doorknob and slides the door open. She walks past you with a little shoulder shrug as if, like a, well, come in.
And he follows her.
I have bad news, Hatuey. Considering what happened last night, frankly what happened as a result of your negligence, I think I'm going to have to demote you.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. I mean, at least put you on probation.
I suppose that's fair.
I mean, come on. You let your supervisor's arm get sawed off? Hell, you did it.
Well, that thing was just weighing you down anyways.
And now you insult me. I paid a lot for that arm. A woman my age, you can't go commenting on my body like that. I guess what I'm trying to say, Hatuey, is I'm going to have to revoke quite a few of your privileges.
Which privileges are you thinking?
I think we can discuss that tonight.
Mm-hmm. And then, okay, I have another idea. What if he says, or we could discuss it now, and I have an idea. So one of the pilot gear that he has is a camo cloth.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's a big thing that can cover like a human and invisible, right? Like he does. So he steps over to a side of her office, reaches down, grabs this thing that has appeared invisible the whole time. He whips it off, and there's a table with a bouquet of mushrooms in the center of the table. And on either side, there's all of the things that he has been talking about, these conspiracy things about, like the super firm tofu and the Flamengo juice, or Flamengo wine, maybe. And he says, maybe we can talk about it now.
Oh, God. I forgot that this is part of you, too. And her little tendrils come to her forehead. Oh, well. Have at it.
Yeah, he just nods knowingly, I think. And he's laughing, too, because I think he loves it. Walks her over to the table.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's probably going to, pick up some mushrooms, maybe throw one at him. It's going to be just lots of adorable flirting.
Yes.
And finally, we're going to head over to a particular high-rise in the morning. Alice has cut off most of her hair, considering it was singed off in the blast. She looks at herself in the mirror. She now has a short pixie cut. Most of her wounds are starting to heal. She's put on some quick-acting salve. She is still in her pajamas. She doesn't seem to have the will to get herself well-dressed this morning. And she wanders out into the living room and looks for Fish. Fish, what are you doing this morning?
I think Fish is not anywhere to be seen, like in the usual routine location, looking out the window. Like not in necessarily normal eye shot.
Fish?
Yes. And she hears this from above.
She looks up.
Fish is on top of something that he is not supposed to be on top of, just perched and watching.
Fish. Fish, please get down off my centrifuge.
But the centrifuge is a good place to be vigilant.
You don't have to be vigilant in the apartment.
But Peaches escaped. I have to be vigilant.
I know. But I don't think that Peaches will come back for a while, at least.
Well, eventually we will have to go to Peaches, or Peaches will come to us.
I know. She sits on the couch.
I think that like the centrifuge is like above the couch, and Fish definitely like does like a sort of like wiggles butt and like leaps off of the centrifuge as it like very, very, very much teeters, like shaking, and like does land on the couch just barely.
Alice is going to slowly reach out her hand, reaching for Fish's head.
Oh, it's instantly, it's like in the hand, like full snout in the hand.
I'm sorry, Fish.
For what?
I put you in danger by not seeing through Peach's plan earlier.
We are always in danger.
I know, but I never wanted to be the one to put you there.
You were not the one who put me in danger. I was the one who put we in danger.
I don't know how to tell you this, Fish. I am ashamed of myself, which is not something I'm used to feeling. I wanted you to be different, Fish. I wanted you to be more like me, to act at least human-like, so that I would know if you would love me the same if you were a human. I think it's something weak humans think about their animals a lot.
But we are not human.
I know, and I should have accepted that reality.
If I were human, I do not think that I would be me, just as if you were a cat, you would not be you.
What do you think I would be like as a cat, Fish?
Fish is just like closes eyes and looks like very confused. I would have to think of the answer to that.
Do you want to go after Peaches, Fish?
Yes.
Can you feel Peaches? Maybe even when you're asleep?
Can I try to do that?
Yeah. Do it.
I guess here's the thing. Can we call it like if it was while sleeping, can we call it an investigate roll that Fish tried to do? Yeah, great. All right. 20 plus 4. It's a 1 plus 4. No.
I see. Probably means that she's worked hard to sever the psychic connection between you. But I believe in you, Fish. I believe you can get stronger mentally.
The only strength that I need is the physical strength to end Peaches.
I know. I know that's what you think. Fish, can you come sit in Mommy's lap?
Yeah, Fish steps like... Fish is sitting right next to her and like steps like one paw on thigh, like other paw on other thigh, and then like goes up onto chest and like is not like actually sitting, is just sort of like standing on like different parts of her.
Alice pets Fish in a very sweet sort of way that Fish loves to be pet.
And Fish is just continually like adjusting in the most uncomfortable ways possible.
Fish?
Yes, Mother.
I love you.
I love you too, Mother.
Did you poop this morning?
I mean, does she want to roll to investigate that?
And I think that is going to be where we're going to end.
Dungeons and Drama Nerds is produced by Todd Backus, Percival Hornak, and Nicholas Orvis, and is mixed and edited by Anthony Sertel Dean. Our Lancer game features Julia Doolittle as the GM, Todd Backus as Derrick McDuck, Jovane Caamaño as Hatuey, Ben Ferber as 18,000/Fish, and Tristan B. Willis as Decency B. Damme. Lancer was written by Miguel Lopez and Tom Parkinson Morgan, and was published by Massif Press. If you'd like to help us continue exploring the intersection of theater and tabletop role-playing games, consider leaving us a review on your podcast app of choice or supporting us and getting access to our patron-only bonus content at patreon.com/Dungeons and Drama Nerds. You can find our social media and website links, including our cast bios, at the link tree in our show notes. Be sure to tune in next week for another episode of Dungeons and Drama Nerds.